What would happen if you mixed two different brands of oil in your engine? Or perhaps more disturbingly, you had to add a synthetic oil to a mineral or vice versa. Is it going to cause any damage to your motor? Let's crack open the shop manual and find out. This episode is powered by Duraboost batteries. Get 10% off your order at RevZilla.com with discount code TSM102023. The short answer to the oil mixing question is that it's fine. Oh. Yep, I knew there were going to be some hits in the comment section, but please hear me out. While researching this video, I did speak to leading oil manufacturers, so I'm not making this stuff up. Also, I'm not saying that mixing oils is ideal, but if you find yourself needing to top off with something other than your favorite flavor, as long as the oil is the same viscosity and it has the MA or the MA2 label on it, which means it's designed for motorcycles, it doesn't matter if it's a different brand, it doesn't matter if the oils are different colors, and it doesn't matter if it's a conventional oil being poured into a synthetic, they will all mix. In fact, they have to as per oil industry standards. However, just because you can mix different oils without creating some acidic, destructive blend does not mean it's a good idea. And you certainly shouldn't assume that that cocktail is fine until your next oil change. That's because engine oil is very particular stuff. It's a mixture of a base oil and a chemical additive package that can make up as much as 25% of every bottle. Some of those additives work independently, some are synergistic and function together to accomplish a goal, and some actually compete for surface area on internal parts. So if you mix two different brands of oil, you risk throwing off the proportions of those carefully selected additives, which could impact the oil's performance and durability. Think of cake mix. If you use a cup of Betty Crocker because you didn't have enough of the Pillsbury stuff, you're still going to end up with a decent cake. It just might not rise as much as it was supposed to because it wasn't made with the exact ingredients that either brand intended. The point is, you want to use all the same kind of oil so the lubricant can function the way it was designed to. Similarly, if you really want to do the absolute best thing for your bike's motor, you're going to want to stick to the same brand of oil between oil changes. And that's because there's anywhere between a few cups to a quart or more of the old dirty oil that remains in the motor. Curious to know exactly how much of that old dirty oil stays in the engine? Flip open your bike's shop manual and compare the volumes for an oil and filter change compared to a full rebuild. To recap, if you need to top off your oil and you don't have your favorite flavor available, it is acceptable to use a different brand or chemistry if that's all you have access to. It's certainly going to be a better option than running your engine with too little oil in it. However, you want to make sure you use the same viscosity and service grade, and you also need to keep in mind that you could possibly compromise the oil's performance by mixing them together, so you're going to want to change that oil out sooner than later. Ultimately, the absolute best course of action is to stick to a single brand and formula to ensure your engine has the friction and corrosion protection it deserves. Thanks for watching this episode of the Shop Manual. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. And I gotta say, I enjoy it. It's a huge privilege to be able to teach people about motorcycles so they can understand them and work on them better. So if you like what we do here, you like the information we bring and the questions we answer, just know that the Shop Manual is produced with funds when people like you make a purchase at RevZilla. So if you wanna support the Shop Manual, support RevZilla. And if you want more motorcycle content, you want written reviews and news, cruise on over to Common Tread, where we are constantly publishing new content.